Welcome back to Mr. Obsolete's Vintage Homesteading. Today we're going to pull out the last two big pieces of tree that we had down in the back here. And since the farm-all's got a flat front tire, we're going to use a different tractor today. So go down and get the logs hooked up and be right back with the tractor and the logs. Okay, the vintage tractor we're using today is our 1945 Oliver Model 80. These are 30 horsepower, weighs 4,800 pounds, has 35 horsepower, pulls about 3,800 pounds on the drawbar. They made these from 1937 until 1948. Nice big powerful tractor. The engines were a combination of Oliver and Waukesha designs. And this one was actually designed to run on kerosene, which we'll show you in a little bit here. Older tractors don't have distributors, they have a magneto. And this one has a charging system and has original lights. This is a PTO pulley. You can run balers and threshing machines, all kinds of stuff like that, saws. Has electric start. So we'll be back here and show you some features on the other side in just a sec. Okay, we're back. Here's some of the features on it. This is an oil bath air cleaner. Modern tractors use paper filaments, but this has oil in it. As the air is drawn through, the oil catches the particles, and you can take this cup off the bottom, wash it out, clean it, and they're 99% efficient. They're really good. The other thing on this tractor was designed to run on kerosene. This small tank here was for gasoline. You start it on gasoline because kerosene doesn't burn very good unless it's really hot. And the exhaust manifold here has a hot pot here where it concentrates the exhaust gases to put a lot of heat into it, so that the air fuel mixture, which is kerosene and air coming here, it heats it up really high and then it'll burn it, because kerosene was much cheaper than gasoline at the time and a lot more readily available. So anyway, we'll talk about the history on them here a little bit. The company. Get my notes here. The Oliver Manufacturing Company was started in 1929, and it merged a bunch of companies together. The main one was the Oliver Chilled Plow Works, started in 1853. American Seed Machine from 1903. They bought up 7 other competitors and got all the good patents and stuff and made the best ones. And the Hart Par gasoline engine, which started in 1897. The first Hart Par tractor was in 1901. And they used the Hart Par name up till 1937, and then they phased that name out and just went to the straight Oliver name. And the other company they bought was Nichols and Shepard Company, which made threshers, tools, mill machinery, and at one time steam tractors. But anyway, that kind of gives you a history. These things run at 1200 RPM. And Oliver got bought out by White Truck Company and went bankrupt because the truck company was in bad shape, and the last Olivers that were built were 1976. They reorganized, and the big tractor line was called Whites after that, and the small tractors were phased out completely. Most of the machinery products and stuff were sold off to different companies also. So anyway, we'll come over here in a sec and cut up the wood we brought up. Okay, well, we're back. I'm going to process the wood here, and today we're going to be using my mint condition Pioneer P50 chainsaw. These are a Canadian built saw. When I say mint condition, it looks like a piece of junk, but mechanically it's perfect, and that's all I care about. I don't care what stuff looks like. I just want stuff that works. It's 82 cc. I've got less than $100 in it. The saw was given to me. Put a new barn chain on it. Rebuilt the fuel system, a new fuel cap, and new spark plug, and we're all set. A new saw to replace this today would be $1,300, so that's why I always go vintage. I don't want to spend that kind of money on something that I use just occasionally. Big saws like this, I don't need that often. So we'll fire it up and warm it up, put my eyes and ears on. We'll be back in a few. Okay, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to cut this knot out of here, and then I'm going to cut the end off right here, and I'll come back and cut this. This type of wood doesn't burn very good, so I cut it in half length so I have a lot more surface area when I burn it. So get the saw running here. Yeah, look at those nice chips there. We'll save this for fire starters, so watch our video on fire starters. Okay. You can see those nice long chips. Big saw like that cuts through that stuff pretty easy. This wood is really sticky, so it takes a lot of power to cut this stuff. Anyway, I'll cut another piece off over here and get the camera set up differently, and be back in a second. Okay, I'm going to cut this end piece off. Once I have it off, I'll set it down on the ground. We can zoom in and stuff, and I can show you a little bit about how I cut it and how it worked. I'll check and see if I got gas. Yeah, I gotta get some gas. Be right back. Well, we're back. Looks like the fuel pump diaphragm and the Pioneer decided to give up on me. I hadn't run that saw for quite some time, and these old saws, I usually keep about a dozen of them ready to go, but I was a slacker and didn't keep them all up and running. You need to take them out and run them every so often, keep everything working. And the bad fuel we have today attacks the diaphragms in the carburetors, and so you have to rebuild them every so often. So I got another saw, I got the trusty old McCulloch out and got it warmed up, so we'll cut with that. Here again, just look at those beautiful chips. The chain sharpened perfectly on that one. I'll do that on a later video. I wanted to show you some stuff on this stump here. Okay, you can see that the center here is wider here than here, and the reason I cut it like that is I wanted to steer the tree into a different spot than where it would drop normally. And if you look real carefully here, you can see the discolored wood in here. That's root rot, and the root rot is starting to go through the whole thing here, and also in here. But the tree dropped really close to where I wanted it to, and like I say, I use it in shorter lengths for firewood to expose more surface area when it burns. So if you mix this with fir and other types of wood, refracts the heat back and really does a nice job of heating. So we'll get the rest of this cut up. Should show you too this piece that I cut out where this branch came out. You can see how rotten it was down in the center. And I cut this with the grain. It takes a lot more horsepower to do that, to cut these big long chips like this. That old Pioneer is really powerful. So you can see the wood deterioration in the center here. The start of the rot right in here. So that's why I took it down. Otherwise it would have fallen down within another year. So I'll cut up the rest of the wood and we'll be back in a while. Well, we're back. Got the last of this cut up. Just wanted to show this root rot again here. It's really strange how it does. This part of the tree looks nice and clean, doesn't show any real signs of it. You go with the other side and you can see it right there. It can be at different heights in the trees. I took one big tree out from about 3 feet from the ground up. It was perfect, and after that it was rotten and had holes in it. It's really too bad. And this here, you can actually see it's got a big rotten spot in it. But on the other side, it's just starting, but you can see I can dig that right out. It's just rotten as can be. Still good for firewood. Well, I'm going to take the branch here and put it over with the others over here and put them on the sawhorse and cut them up. Branch a few of these first. Our handy dandy little Evansville axe. Most of them. Okay, well, we'll grab the saw and be right back. Okay, we're ready to cut. This is a lot of weird angles and stuff, so I'll have to be real careful cutting it, but the longest pieces will be out here. I'll cut those off here, and then we'll cut in here, and we'll very carefully cut down through these, and then we'll cut the ends off there. So the thing that's important when you're using a sawbuck like this is, especially with this stuff where it doesn't fit together real tightly, is to watch your chain speed. You know, you want to start out with a low throttle and low chain speed to cut stuff off. You first do your first cuts up here, the same thing. When you get down into the wood, you can speed it up, but when you get close to the bottom, you want to slow that down, just do little squirts, and that way it'll cut, because the wood will want to fall in. That way it won't kick out, hit you, or drop on your foot. So we get the saw started here. So there you can see it's pretty easy to process and cut a lot of wood in a short time, and just made out of junk wood, but works really great. I'll be doing a video pretty soon on how to build one. And then as the colder weather sets in, we won't be working outside as much. I'll be doing chainsaw history and chainsaw specific information, how to maintain them, repair them, all kinds of stuff. So we'll see you in the next video.